Hello, my crafty friends. Well, today I'm going to be talking to you about my low buy, no buy of 2024 and the rules I've set for myself, and also the one in, two out challenge. Um, I'm doing both of those things simultaneously this year. And, everybody has a different idea of what a no buy year or a low buy year is. I've been watching videos of other people who've challenged themselves to do a low buy or no buy year. And just a second, let me go back to and I just wanted to go ahead and sit down in writing the perimeters that I'm going to go by for that. And so on these 2 pages, I'm going to do that. And I'm calling it a low buy, no buy. Actually, no, I think I'm just going to call it a low buy year because no means no. Now, a lot of people have a no buy year except for na. Now, everybody knows, at least everybody I've seen who does this challenge knows, you have to pay rent, you have to pay utilities, you have to pay the phone bill, you have to buy food, you have to buy any medications or doctor bills that, those kinds of things. Those are essentials, those are necessities. Those are not part of the challenge, okay? So even a no buy year would allow those things. And some people allow also to replace things that have broken. If your dishwasher breaks, some people would say, tough, you go the rest of the year, wash your dishes by hand. Other people would say, if something like that breaks, I can replace it. Now, if you lost your refrigerator, I can't imagine anybody who would say, I'm just not going to do, I'm going to do without a refrigerator the rest of the year. But so there are parameters like that people put in, and I'm going to have those same parameters in place. But I'm calling mine a low buy year because there are a few things that I'm looking for that I want to buy if I can get a good deal. And because a no buy year would mean I wouldn't go on vacation. And I'm not actually, there's 2 possibilities. One thing I have to do as a mom, and that's take Hannah to see TJ in New Mexico in March. So that's an obligation. I will enjoy it, I'm sure, but it's not going to Cancun or to the mountains, or although it is kind of close to the mountains and it's pretty, so that's that sort of counts as a vacation. I'm going to have a couple of days to relax. Hannah's going to be working, but anyway, that is not what I don't call that a vacation, and so I don't feel the least bit bad about doing that and spending money to do it, because it's something I need to do for my family. The other vacation I would like to take would be to go visit my sister in Virginia in the fall. That will depend on how well everything else goes. So those are my exceptions for that. And then anyway, that's why I'm calling mine a low buy, because I'm already off the top planning something that a no buy year might not allow. And I don't want to hear people griping, you can't call it a no buy year if you're going to na. And so y'all wouldn't do that. My subscribers are too nice to do that. But in these communities, these no buy, low buy communities that I've been watching videos on, there are people who do make fusses, and I think it's ridiculous. But anyway, this is something everybody defines for themselves, what no buy is. But I'm going to call it a low buy year just to bypass all of that mess. So here's my low buy 2024 challenge. And so first we've got, and I'm not even going to write down necessities, rent and all those things. I'm not going to write those down as things I'm allowed to spend money on, because we all know we have to do that. The things that I'm going to allow myself to spend money on are I'm going to say allowed to buy if it's a bargain. One would be a new blender. Two is a new rice cooker / steamer. I have one of these rice cooker steamer in my Amazon wish list. If I can't find a much better deal at a thrift store, then I'll go ahead and get this one because it's just $20. And I've seen rice cookers at thrift stores for like $15 before. And this is a rice cooker steamer combo, and I think that would be really awesome. And if I can get that, or if I can get a rice cooker for $5, I'll go ahead and buy it at a thrift store. But if I'm going to have to pay $15 for a rice cooker and I can get a rice cooker steamer for $20, I'm going to go ahead and do that. One that's new, you know. Anyway. And then the third thing I want to buy is a good heavy medium size saucepan. This is something I'm actually looking for Hannah, but I'm letting her take, I don't need the E in there. I'm letting her take a lot of things from my kitchen, but not my saucepans. So I want to find her a good one before she goes. Okay, so these are things that I'm allowed to buy, and I may add something to this if I need to. I'm also going to this is not buying, it's spending, but anyway. It's a Silver City in March, and this is a question mark. Go visit Karen in the fall. And there are a couple of reasons why this is a question mark. It depends on if I can get away, if things will work out for me to be away from here. Karen is actually going to come and stay and help Mom while I'm gone to take Hannah in March. That's just March. And she can't do that if I'm going to visit her. So we'll have to see what I can arrange to go visit her in the fall. So that's kind of all goes, you know, it all kind of goes together. Okay. And I'm going to leave some space here. And then I'm going to give my goals for this low buy year, okay? For savings is what I'm calling it. But the money I'm saving doing a low buy year, these are the goals I have to spend it. One thing is a wedding gift for Hannah and TJ. And then one is that trip to Virginia. And the third thing I need to do is what would you call it? Resupply, restock, refund my emergency fund from dental bills. Specifically, I'm going to have about $6,000 worth of dental bills here in the next month or two. And I'm having to take that out of my emergency fund, and I'm grateful I have an emergency fund. I can do that. But I need to get that emergency money back for the next emergency, and so that's also one of my goals for saving money. And I'm not going to, a lot of people go into detail about how much money they've saved and all of that. I'm not going to do that. I don't think that um, that matters. Um, I'm going to talk about, if I mess up and buy something that I wasn't planning to buy, or if something comes up and I don't get to save the money I thought I was going to save. But I'm not going to talk about how much money I'm trying to save other than that $6,000. Will I be able to refund that whole thing this year? Probably not. But that would be $500 a month just for this. And I don't think I can save $500 a month on top of these two things. But so this part, my low buy may go on a couple more years, or I may just change my lifestyle to a low buy lifestyle. That's probably what I should do. Anyway, it is what I should do because I have everything I really need. Anyway, we're gonna start out with 1 year and move on from that. Okay, now what I had written when I was writing it down here, I called it reverse spending, but it's really going to be and I've started pages over here. 1 in, 2 out, and wish and 2 out. And the wish 2 out is specifically for craft supplies. And this is the money I've spent so far in January. I bought 5 groceries, and groceries count as far as bringing something into the house. Now I know they're use-upable, but this is to keep me accountable for how many groceries I bring in, for one thing. But I brought in 5 groceries on the 2nd, and I got rid of 13 books. I brought in 6 groceries on the 6th, and I got rid of 20 books. So I'm doing more than 2 out for each one that comes in, and more is more better. But I have to look around and find at least 2 things that need to leave my house for every 1 thing I bring in, even if the thing I brought in was groceries. That's what I'm telling myself this year, and I'm hoping doing this. Because if I only did it on things that weren't groceries, and I'm doing a low buy year, that wouldn't get rid of very many things. So that's why I'm doing this. Groceries, cold medicine, whatever, anything I bring in the house, anything, I'm going to get rid of at least 2 things. Now, the wish thing is I have more craft supplies than I will ever be able to use up. But sometimes I see something on somebody else's video and I think, oh, I wish I had that. So I'm going to use that desire, that opportunity to make myself look around my craft room and say, okay, I have a lot of things that I thought I wanted that I bought and that I'm not using. And I'm going to find at least 2 things to get rid of every time I say, ooh, I wish I could have that. Okay? That's my challenge. So this is 2 different challenges. I'm just tracking them together. And the wish I had was some more sage paint when I realized my little bottle's almost empty, and that's one of my favorite colors. Now, I can, in my low buy, if I need to replace something, I can. That's one of the rules I've given myself, if I need to replace something. But when it's a craft supply, I need to think carefully about, do I need to replace that thing? And so that's why I'm writing the 1 in, 1 out rules. Let's just do that. Let me find something here that'll keep this there we go. Okay. 1 in, 2 out, and wish 2 out rules. Okay. So 1 in, 2 out. Every time I bring anything into my home, I will find at least 2 things to get rid of. Now, that might mean throwing them away. It might mean taking it to donate. It might mean giving it to a friend, whatever. There are lots of ways you can get rid of stuff. So I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about what I'm going to do with those things, because it depends on what it is. Okay, so there's rule number 1. And then rule number 2, every time I see a craft supply I wish I could have, I will look around my current supplies and find at least 2 things to, I should say, let me fix that, because I need to say that I don't use anymore, or that I know I won't use, or whatever. 2 things I am not using to get rid of. Okay. Now, in the case of the sage, just show you, in the case of the sage paint, I got rid of 10 rolls of washi tape that, and I did give those to someone, a young woman who will enjoy them. So, so those are the promises I'm making to myself with this challenge. So what happens if I run out of a craft supply? Okay. Okay, I need to put over here number 6, that I'm allowed to replace things that break or run out if needed. Okay, so number 3 promise I'm going to make to myself is, if I run out of something, I will look at my supplies and see what I can use instead. Before I replace it, before I decide I need to replace it. Replace the item. Okay. And one example is, instead of buying sage paint, and I'm going to go ahead and write this down as A, while I've got it in my head. Instead of buying more sage paint, I will try to mix my own out of the paint I have. Okay, that's just an example. Okay, so so that's what I'm doing, and so this is to declutter my house and save some money in 2024. And I'm gonna keep real good stock of this. I'm also going to keep stock of how much money I'm saving by not spending money that's in my budget. I have a budget. I use YNAB. You need a budget, and so I do a zero-based budget where I budget every penny I have into some category. It can be a savings category, and I have those. And one that I have right now is called no spend savings. And I guess I could call that low spend savings, but I'm not spending this money. So I'm calling it no spend savings. And then because I do have a vacation category, I do have a household items category, those kinds of things in the budget. And I'm going to, at the end of the month, the things like groceries and, excuse me, money I've set aside for haircuts and money I've set aside for eating out and all those kinds of things. Now, I won't be eating out because I'm doing a low spend, except on those trips when I'll have to eat out. But the money that goes into those categories that I don't spend each month, I'm going to move down into the no spend savings. And so I might, at the end of the month, just write, I saved $220 or I saved $45 or whatever. My budgeting categories, I feel like, are really very reasonable, period. They're not extravagant. And so I don't know how much money I'm going to be able to save out of those things, but I do know that I've been spending money. I'm a repeat budget maker. Like, I make a budget and I live by it for a little while, and then things, go nuts, and I forget to write things down, and I'm like, oh, I've already messed this up. I'm just going to make a new budget and start over. And so this year I'm not going to do that. Probably for the first time ever, I'm going to go the whole year being very, very conscious of every penny I spend in the budget and not restart it. Because I don't like when things get messy looking. And if you have to buy a new washing machine and your household budget's in the red by $400, that looks messy to me. Okay, you're hearing the real thing. And so I always I'll just restart with the money I have, and I'll have zero in that category, and I'll just take it from somewhere else to pay for, and so I've never actually gone the whole year and seen exactly how much I've spent in each category in a full year. And I'm doing that this year. I restarted my budget on January 1st, and I'm going to see exactly how much I spend everywhere, because you need a budget. Also, you can pull up reports for each month or the year or whatever of where you spent your money, depending on the categories that you set up in the budgeting software. Now, they have an app that you pay so much a month for. I don't know what it is, because I got YNAB when it was something you downloaded to your computer. And it was YNAB 4 when I bought it. And I downloaded it to my computer, and they've stopped supporting it. They've stopped updating it and supporting it. And so now, if you buy it now, you can't do that. You have to be on the app. You have to pay a subscription. That's what it is. It's a subscription. And I didn't want the subscription because it does a lot of things that are really cool that I think people would enjoy. One thing is, you set it all up, and then it automatically takes the money. When you spend money, it links it from your bank to the app, to the budgeting software, and it allocates it for you. Well, I don't want to do that, because I have mine set up. If I go to Walmart and I buy a pair of socks and some dishwashing soap and some apples and some meat and some cold medicine, I want to be able to put that in household non-food groceries, in medicine, in clothing. You see what I mean? And so I want mine to be, I categorize mine smaller than just Walmart. And you might can do it in there. I don't know, but I know how to use what I've got. And so the people who run YNAB are great. And I'm going to give you an example. I had YNAB 4 on my last computer, and when it died, I hadn't found a way to move it to this computer because I didn't get it moved over before this computer died. I wasn't even sure how to do it. And I contacted them and I told them I really like YNAB 4. I don't want to do the subscription. I just want what I had, but my computer died and I don't have it. And they sent me a new link. I had Darren, I can't remember how I proved to them that I already had it. But anyway, they sent me a new link for the old software where I could download it. And I thought that was so kind. I didn't expect them to do that, but I was so grateful that they did. And anyway, that's the budgeting software I use. Dave Ramsey has one that they call Every Dollar, and they have a free one. It's an app too, but it's free. But it's also a zero-based budgeting. If you're not doing a budget of any kind now, I would suggest you try. Even not doing it perfectly, it has helped me with my spending. It's helped me understand where I'm spending all my money. It's helped me be able to buy things that were necessary because I had money left over in this category, even though that's not what I wanted to do with that money, because I was giving every dollar a place to go. And so I had money, like right now, being on survivor benefits with Social Security and the little annuity pension type thing that I get from where Darren worked, those both of those things I have to pay taxes on, but they don't take taxes out. So I have a spot where I've got down here taxes where I'm putting money in, so I know it's there for taxes and I don't spend it for something else. And I would probably not realize how much I've spent because it would look like I have money. You know what I mean? So budgeting, either a paper budget, I budgeted on in a spreadsheet. I mean, and when I say spreadsheet, I don't mean Excel. I mean a columnar pad with columns, that you write everything in. I still plan out my budget. When things change, I replan out my budget on one of those sheets before I put it into YNAB. So you could at least do that. You can do it in a notebook. There are people on YouTube who show you how to budget in just a notebook. So if you're not budgeting at all and you never know where your money went and you always run out of money, try a budget. If you want to know some hints, I've done it a lot, and I'd be glad to help you figure out the ins and outs of a beginning type budget if you want help. Anyway, and I can't show you mine really. I mean, I could show you the part where I write it down on paper, but I can't show you how YNAB works because it's on my computer. And I use my computer to make the video, so it wouldn't work. But I could show you how to make a budget if you want to learn how to make a budget. I would be happy to do that. I could make a video on it if somebody wants to, but there are many, many videos on making a budget. There are videos on using YNAB. There are videos on using Every Dollar. There are videos on making all the budgeting planners and the cash stuffing and all the stuff that different people do to try to get their budget under control and save money and get out of debt and all of those things. There's lots of that on YouTube, so I'm sure you can find it. Anyway, this is the challenge I'm setting for myself. And like I said, while I'm not going into deep detail on the monetary portion of it, I am going to go ahead and write saved. And just put that there, because I think that will help me to see it in my book too. Of course, some of it will be used in March. Some of it will be used, but hopefully the most biggest portion of it will go to pay back my emergency fund. That's my hope. Whew, okay. Well, I love you. God bless you. If you want to join me in the 1 in, 2 out challenge, I would love that. Or if the wish 2 out challenge, either one. That one I wish I had a better name for, but at the moment I can't think of anything. I was trying to figure this one out when I had a headache, and I still can't come up with anything that cute to call it. So I'm just going to call it that for right now. The wish 2 out. 1 in, 1 out, and wish 2 out. Those are the challenges I have besides the low spend year. So let me know what you think. If you've tried something like this and did it work for you, what are you doing to curb your spending? Let me know in the comments what you're doing. Not only would I like to know what you're doing, what's worked for you, or what you tried that didn't work, or whatever. Other people who watch the video might look through the comments and find some ideas from you that I didn't give them. So that would be great too. God bless you all. Love you. Bye-bye.